Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly update. As you will notice behind me, there is the room I didn't show on the latest video. The latest video that I'm referring to is the new store tour. So if you've not checked that out, it just posted this last week. It kind of substituted for the grind this past week, just because we had so much work involved in trying to get it out and updated. But as you can see, this is the one room that I did not show in that video, and the reason I'm here showing you now is because we are going to start working on getting these new systems out to the floor and increasing the load of fish, corals, live plants, and vertebrates that we can offer you here at the store. And I wanted to start this video there. Okay, so we're recovering from a moment we had that you didn't see on camera, but you will see on the grind this coming week. Because a very unexpected thing happened is I was just going to talk about these FX6 filters. However, I am going to talk about the FX6 really quick because it is the product of the week. It may, at this price, at $300, be the product of the month. This is one of the best canister filters, if not the best, and my favorite canister filter that's on the market. It will do pretty much anything that you would want to do when dealing with any kind of fish tank. From a biological standpoint, from a mechanical standpoint, it is just the best. It's easy to work on. It'll do up to a 400-gallon tank. I wouldn't put it on a 400-gallon tank, but if you're running something in the realm of 180, 200-gallon tank, this filter is easy to install. We have a video on it, and it is just the best. And I got a bunch of them right now. So if you're in the market to add some filtration to your tank, or do a tank where you want a more concentrated filtration, the FX6 is for you. Okay, so as you can see, this is Chase's spot. He's been pricing stuff all morning. I had to get rid of him long enough to present my case to you, and that is, don't forget about the $100 gift certificate on both Facebook and YouTube, just for talking a little bit about Fishy Business. Tell us what you like about Fishy Business, who you like here, why you shop us, whatever, on either of those platforms, or both, and you can win one, maybe two $100 gift certificates. We've got, I think, 2 weeks left, so we've got 2 more weeks to do it. So let us know what you think of Fishy Business, and we'll enter you into that competition, and let's go look at some fish. One of my favorite oddball fish that we have are the Polypterus. I talk about the dinosaur fish a lot, but the whole family of Polypterus just makes some of the coolest fish. Now, they will get big. They are very opportunistic predatory fish, and this particular one is a very, very young Indolacheri Polypterus. The cool thing, and what I like so much about it, is as it gets a little bit bigger, its scales will actually form kind of a boa constrictor-like pattern, so it almost looks like a snake. They sit up on their pectoral fins and kind of walk along the bottom a little bit, but they're very, very cool, very dragon-looking in nature, and just an all-over cool fish. Next on the list this week, we got not one but 2 silver arowanas. These have some decent size to them. I mean, they're very, very young, but they're fairly pronounced. They're not tiny arowanas. Great top feeding predator. As oddball as it gets. They do get big, so you do need a big tank, but very, very cool fish. A lot of rainbows this week. We have both the Goiter River rainbows and the Deepwater Australian rainbows. We also have some emerald rainbows. You'll see it as well. There's a few assorteds mixed in here, but rainbows are just flat out beautiful. They look fantastic in a planted tank. These will color up significantly more than they are now, and just a good fish to balance in a lot of different types of environments. There are lots of types of Geophagus, but this one is my favorite. Actually, it was Sir Richard Bullard 25 years ago that turned me on to them, the Geophagus surinamensis. In my opinion, just from a color standpoint, and these are nowhere near developed as much as they will be, they're just a beautiful, beautiful cichlid. Now, these are not the most aggressive cichlids. They're typically called the rock movers, the whole family of Geophagus, as they kind of stay in the lower 50% of the tank, moving rocks around, kind of readjusting your tank, but they're not super aggressive, so you can keep them with things like barbs, things like your larger body danios, rainbows, things that have a little bit of size on them. Even some of the larger tetras in schools would be fine, like your serpes or maybe your red Columbians, things like that. But if you've ever been in the market and you wanted a cichlid, not a super aggressive cichlid, that might could go in a semi-aggressive community tank, the Geophagus surinamensis is one of my favorite, and certainly one of the prettiest. Okay, in 3 different tanks in the back semi-aggressive tanks, we got 3 beautiful groups of tiger barbs this week. These you're looking at are the green tiger barbs, and they are probably some of the nicest green tiger barbs I have seen in a long time. Super, super bright, shimmering green on the bodies. As well as we got these beautiful albino tiger barbs, and we got the ones everybody wants, which are the green platinum tiger barbs. So if you've ever wanted to get a group of tiger barbs, this is a great week to do it. Great little group of spotted pictus cats came in. Again, if you have a semi-aggressive tank, these will get a little bit of size to them, but they're not going to get massive. They're a great bottom-dwelling catfish. They swim with the same movement of a shark, so they have that really cool side-to-side swagger as they hunt the bottom of the tank for any kind of remnants of leftover food and things like that. They're great for cleaning a tank like that, and they make a pretty cool statement as they swim in the tank. These are the largest neon black tetras I think I have ever seen in my life. Connor and I were just passing through trying to decide the next fish to shoot, and I actually thought these were emperor tetras. There is an emperor tetra that just swam through there, but they're not. They are the largest black neon tetras I have ever seen. Okay, what we have here is a plastic plant ball. It's the only one we got in this week, but it is in the top of the semi-aggressive system, so we're going to assume by the fact that it's alone and by itself that it must have some semi-aggressive tendencies. It seems to occupy only one part of the tank, which seems to be the lower right-hand corner if you're looking at the tank. And more than that, I'll have to ask Sir Richard to tell me some things about it. We'll be right back. The dwarf grommies that came in this week are phenomenal in both electric red and these electric kind of powder blue, metallic blue. Just absolutely phenomenal this week. These can be great in a community tank or a semi-aggressive tank, as sometimes they themselves can be a little aggressive. These grommies are a labyrinth fish. They're going to occupy a pretty small portion of your tank, but if you want to add some color, this is one way to do it. I love the bloodfin tetras, and the reason that I do is because the red highlighted color on all of the fins looks super, super sharp against a planted background. So if you have a very naturalistic looking aquarium, especially if you have a black background or black gravel, these fish look great in a school. Dwarf frogs. I don't think I've ever put dwarf frogs in a video. And for those of you that might want an aquatic frog for your community tank, these will not get very big. They are, again, a dwarf frog. And I think that's about all I have to say on them. I have a few. Come get one if you want one. Very few plecos are more beautiful than the gold nugget pleco, and I like to show them when we have them in stock. I got 2 this week. They're very reasonably priced, and they are absolutely beautiful. My crayfish people out there, I got 2 young electric blue crayfish this week. I still have 1 tangerine lobster that came in as well, but I wanted to show these as they have great color. They're the perfect size to put in because they're very young and very active, so come check them out.
Hi fishy friends, I'm going to show you all the cool saltwater fish that I got in this week. So we're starting with this fish because it is my #1 pick for all of the fish that came in this week. This is the gray angel, or Pomacanthus arcuatus. Now this is a juvenile, a large juvenile. It is in the process of changing. So the juveniles have those really nice stripes, and if you look really closely, you might not be able to see it on the video. Another reason why you should come in and take a look for yourself. He's starting to get those spot patterns on his body, which is what he's going to be covered with as a full adult. Now these guys are not reef safe. They will eat your coral and inverts. They like to nip at things like that, and even clam mantles as well. So definitely a fish that should go in a fish only system. And these guys get large. They almost get 2 feet long, maxing out at around 1 foot and 8 inches. So definitely gonna need a 200-gallon aquarium, if not larger than that. But this guy is stunning. He is probably the most perfect gray angel I've ever seen. 100% beautiful. Of course I have to show you the little teeny trigger I got. This is the little clown trigger. Its Latin name is really fun. It's Balastoides conspiculum. And this guy is absolutely precious. But he won't stay this tiny for forever. The clown triggers get very large, about a foot and 10 inches, so almost 2 feet long as well. They get very large. These guys are also very aggressive and definitely a predatory fish, but they're also a very easy fish to keep. These guys are major carnivores and they need a wide variety of meaty foods, even as a juvenile. The size of the food will obviously change, going from shrimp all the way up to larger pieces that you can find in the monster mix that we sell here at the store. Now this guy, with its crazy coloration and that really fun spot pattern that you see all over his body, has probably become the most sought after trigger to have in the home aquarium. I finally got in some Volatin lionfish for you guys this week. This is a juvenile black Volatin. They are venomous, so be very careful when putting your hand in to do any type of maintenance in the tank. And these guys will get about a foot long, so another very large fish, full grown. They are reef safe with caution because they will eat your inverts and some of your small fish as well. And like most lionfish, they're kind of difficult to get to eat frozen food. They typically will feed on live foods such as ghost shrimp and even feeder guppies sometimes. But with some patience, you can definitely transition them over to some frozen food. I can't believe that I was finally able to get one of these in. I very rarely can ever get the orange spot filefish. These guys are more of an expert level fish. They're a carnivore, although they are not reef safe. They will eat inverts. These guys are shy and they're hardly aggressive. The only time they're aggressive is really towards other filefish, so they should be kept in the aquarium singly, but with lots of hiding places to retreat to when they're scared, and they should be only housed with peaceful community fish. This guy has beautiful color and it has a really crazy unique design, and it makes it a gorgeous addition to any tank. These are the purple fairy wrasse, and as you can see, I got in a lot of them this week. These are a type, like I said, of fairy wrasse, so you can keep multiple ones in the same tank. All of these guys look and are doing absolutely fantastic. You can see them all swimming around in there together. They are very peaceful, very easy to keep, definitely reef safe. You know, I can't really recommend these guys enough, and you can see how they're all kind of schooling together. Just having a great time. If you want a lot of color and a lot of activity inside of your reef tank, definitely worth coming to check out the purple fairy wrasse. So this is the Diadema pseudochromis. You should have heard Connor pronounce it just a second ago before he started filming.
The blah 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 blah.
Yes, the blah blah blah. This fish is absolutely beautiful. They don't get very large, maybe about 6 or 7 inches at most. They can be fairly aggressive, so do need to be careful about what we add this, or what's in the tank already, what its tank mates are going to be if we want to add one of these. This one's really small, maybe only about 1.5 inches. These guys are carnivores, feed the normal carnivore diets, but this color is absolutely fantastic. You don't see it a whole lot, and you can really see that racing stripe down his back in that bright fuchsia color. It's going to add a lot of color and activity to your tank. Definitely worth coming to check this guy out. This is the Kalapa crab. This guy is super interesting and he's super fun. He's quite the showstopper. You can see him kind of showing off in the tank right now. He's super active. I was just telling Connor he's probably not going to move around a whole lot, but he decides to show out for us, which is perfect. Most of the time these guys are going to be buried in the sand with only their sensory structure showing through the top. And their claws are specifically adapted for feeding on snails. And like most crustaceans, they are mostly nocturnal, but you will still be able to see them and they'll be visible throughout the day. To supplement the snails that these guys usually eat, meaty foods like mysis shrimp and things like that are also going to be very good for the Kalapa crab. So I haven't gotten firefish in a while, and I was finally able to, so I thought that we would show them this week. They are very easy, very peaceful, and very reef safe as well. They only get about 3 inches in total size, so you can keep them in even smaller tanks such as the BioCube. These guys are also one of the more popular fish with its brilliant coloration and unique body shape and that really high fin that you see where it looks like they're popping it up every now and then. In the wild, they are found in groups, typically hovering over the reefs. These guys are a pretty timid fish and will have a bolt hole, if you will, where it can quickly dart when it's threatened. They thrive in the home aquarium with similar hole and crevices that can become their safety zones.
Don't forget to go to Facebook, go to YouTube, or just down below, write a couple things that you like about Fishy Business, people, circumstances, whatever it is that brings you here. Definitely come check out the new store tour, because it is probably one of our best videos, and it will give you a nice overview of the store. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. God bless. Be safe in this summer going to the beach and stuff like that, and I hope to see you here this weekend.